Hello and welcome. In today's exciting episode, we have a fabric haul. I was going to do a fabric KonMari, but then I came across these and I was like, okay, we're doing a fabric haul now. It's the last one, I promise. These are the last fabrics.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
So here we go. All the mess of the start of a KonMari, but then I found these fabrics and I was like, okay, we'll do a fabric haul instead because that's literally all I had time for. Oh, and thanks so much to everyone who left a really supportive comment on my last video. Thank you, genuinely. It was really lovely of you. And yeah, I've just been beading. So there will be an update at the end of this video on my Tempest jacket and how that's going. Still not finished yet, but I'm getting there. So let's do this instead. So I got a fabric haul. First up, we have this, it's not silk, but it's a lovely satiny shimmery fabric, a formal fabric, and I'm going to make a jacket out of it. And I've just got loads of sequins and beads in black and green. And the white flowers, I don't know what they're supposed to be. I think they might be clematis or maybe lovers in the mist. I don't know. Based on the leaves, I think they're a climbing vine. But anyway, they reminded me of spider chrysanthemums. And In Search of Lost Time, this really, really long novel, 7 volumes long, by Marcel Proust, has chrysanthemums in it. And they were really, really so trendy flower. Like now they're kind of naff and we only buy them at Mother's Day. But back then they were like cutting edge because they just made it to a Western world. And yeah, that's like the turn of the century, not the one that just gone, the one before that. Anyway, I think they're beautiful, but I don't know, I might bead over some of them or I don't know. But probably mostly greens and blacks, beads and sequin for that one. This is another shimmery, shiny fabric. So what I think I'm going to do is do 2 jackets because I've had quite a few people recently asking me to do a simple jacket rather than make it, you know how I make my jackets with a shell and then I drape the tweed over the top. Well, there's a much more simple way of making jackets, obviously. So I thought I would do the Vogue 7975 out of this fabric here, and then make my other the other McCall's pattern, discontinued McCall's pattern I have that's slightly baggier. I'll make that out of the green one and then I'll just show the 2. I was going to do it out of sequins and make the 7975 out of, because I've got 2 pieces of brown or latte coloured sequin fabric and I was going to make the 2 jackets the 2 different ways and then you could compare them, but I think it might be more useful in the shimmery satin fabric because that shows up every fault. Not that there'll be any faults in my jackets, but just so that you know where any potential tension points might be. So that's my thinking at the moment. And now we have 2 cotton quilting fabrics. So they're 45 inches wide or 115 centimeters wide. And I've got these other quilting fabrics. The dotty one has, the polka dots is 2 yards. The other 2 are 1 yard each. So we've got all up 6 yards here of sunshine, and there's a couple of other fabrics as well, like there's one with a hibiscus and then there's a couple of other ones. So all up I think I've got 10 yards of fabric. That's what I was going to do the fabric KonMari. I was going to divide them all into blocks of 10 yards of fabric, 10 yards or 10 meters, and that way I'll have 2 yards, one side each for reversible jackets, and then 8 yards for a maxi dress. So yeah, anyway, so that's what the sunshine's for. I think I may have already showed you the candy cane. I'm not sure. It's a quilting cotton and it was just in this pile, so that's why I'm not sure. Anyway, candy cane. I've never actually eaten candy cane, I don't think, because so many people say it's horrid, but I think it looks cute. Anyway, so I'm going to use that in some layer cake dress or other. Here's a quick glance at my other fabrics. Notice that I have about 4 yards of pink embroidery on glaze, as well as the 4 yards of strawberry pink fabric with the strawberries on there. So maybe I'll make a maxi dress instead of just a 4-yard dress. Anyway, and this, I bought 4 yards of this because it was on sale It was just like a clearance quilting fabric. And yeah, at first I was like, well, I could make, 3 jackets different ways. I mean, it's 4 yards and I usually only use 1 yard per jacket. But because when you've got a plaid, you need extra fabric. So I thought like I could do one straight on, so it's like horizontal and vertical lines, and then another one that's diagonal, and then another one that's like the simple, like the Berta 6123. You want to use a plaid fabric but you're not sure you can match sleeves, then a dolman sleeve jacket where you basically all that means is all in one. So the front piece has the front left torso and the front left sleeve, and the right piece has the right left torso and the right left sleeve, and the back piece is just one massive piece. It's got both back sleeves and the back of the jacket in it. So that one's actually relatively easy to do. If you've got a plaid tweed, you just basically have to buy the patterns always say you need to buy 2.5 times as much plaid fabric as you would normal fabric. But I don't know, 1.5 times for me is fine. But I guess if you aren't used to it, maybe, I don't know. It's always so good to do a wearable mock-up first, and then you just pull it apart, like use your unpicker to pick it at the seams, and you know exactly how much fabric you have to buy. So anyway, I love this. It's supposed to be seed pods, but it looks like ladybugs to me. So whenever I see this fabric, I'm like, ladybugs, ladybugs. I just love saying, there's some words like candy corn is another one as well. And Mike and Ike, that candy, American candy, Mike and Ike. Oh my God. When I go down a candy store aisle in America, I'm just like the most annoying person as opposed to my regular personality. Anyway, so that was quilting cotton, and it's going to be with the vintage daisy. Like I'm going to make a layer cake dress with other light blue fabrics I have, aquarine light blue. This fabric, I bought this online, and the picture made it look like it was green and really dark red. But then when it arrived, it's on a black base, and it is a silky, it is a satin fabric. But I've actually already got this one. It's sort of bluey aqua and purple on black base. And yeah, so I was a bit disappointed by that because green is my favorite colors, as I keep telling you. So I guess I'll do one that's and this is me showing you some other sequins I bought that are on sale. Normally I buy pretty much exclusively round sequins, but every now and again they have novelty sequins. So these are square ones. I've never actually seen completely flat square sequins before. I think that's why they're on sale. Normally they're a cup sequins, like they're 3-dimensional, the square ones, but I got them anyway because I'm going to use them in layers like I did in my Egyptian tweed jacket. Every second one is a bead, and then it goes stack of sequins, then beads, stack of sequins, and yeah, so I'm thinking of doing the same thing with those. And I've just got loads of green and black, so I just thought I really shouldn't have bought more green, but And so the 2 jackets that I make out of this fabric, I think one I'll bead and one I'll use sequins on. So that's why I was randomly showing you that other jacket that I think needs more sequins on it because it's not quite heavy enough. Sequins are adorable and they're all shimmery and shiny, but they're not very heavy. So I think I put too much structural layer on it to be just sequins, so maybe I'll add beads or just loads more sequins. Yeah, I think we have 4 more quilting cottons and then 3 other fabrics. So the bamboo, I think oh my gosh, it's ages ago now. Back in 2022, I made this dress, and everyone calls it the Titanic dress, just because of it kind of looks that era. Anyway, I used 3 yards for that, and this is 1 yard and left, and I'm going to make a jacket that a summer jacket that I can wear over the top, and it's beautiful. So I just love that bamboo fabric. And this is like little seed pods in 1960s, 1970s type of fabric. And this one I also have made a 1939 vintage Vogue dress out of both of these. And each of those dresses took 3 yards of fabric. So I have 1 yard of fabric more of each of those. But I made them such a long time ago. I'm not sure whether I don't think I filmed them ever. Anyway, so I have made them though. But yes, so jackets to go over the top of, like matching jacket for vintage dresses that I own. So yeah, maybe 1 of each. And like I really like the one with, I'm not sure which one, but both of them take 1 yard. So I just really like them, and they're just I love that 1939 vintage Vogue dress, and I altered it slightly so it's not as figure hugging, but yeah, it's really beautiful. This, I made a keyhole dress out of that. There's this keyhole blouse, this one here, and instead of making the blouse full length, like it goes down under your butt, there's an alteration line at your natural waist, and I just sort of chopped it off there, and then I added a skirt to it, a pleated skirt, and I just saw this fabric and it would make the cutest matching jacket. Like it's the same colors, but I think the fabric I bought was Australian, like flannel flowers and Australian native flowers, sort of. Whereas this one's tulips and like European or English flowers. I just thought it would be cute. So yeah, gosh, that would be 2 jackets, like double-sided. So yeah, I'm going to end up with a lot of summer jackets, aren't I? But yeah, anyway, it will be something different than having more dresses. Anyway, so that's why I was going to do the fabric KonMari, so I can sort of put them all in color stacks and work out which ones are going to be jackets and which ones are going to be layers in a maxi dress. So next fabric it's another formal fabric, and it's all shimmery and it's a jacquard, so all the pattern is woven into it, and it's supposed to be feathers, like I don't know, something like the neck. It just sort of looks like the neck of an eagle or the neck of a phoenix or something like that. Anyway, I love them, and I was like, it's gorgeous, but how do you bead something like this? Like, because the feather motif is sort of under each other, like how do you fit beads into this? Or if you lay sequin on there, even if you have the oval ones, which I do, how do you do that in a way that doesn't mess up the pattern? Anyway, so I just think it's an interesting challenge. And actually, this would be a good one to do the Vogue 7975 just in this is me trying to show you so this is tulles. It's bridal tulle in black, and I just got that because I'm going to make some Chanel style jackets out of quilting cotton, and you have to layer tulle over the top to make it look sort of more expensive. So yeah, that's why I needed that. And my last fabric is this dark grey felt, and you rarely see felt on the roll, so I just bought like a yard of each of them. And I think I've shown you the other 3, but I haven't shown you the dark one. And there's also the black that I'm currently using as a mat to stop all the beads rolling off my workbench as I work on the Mediterranean tweed, which has become the Tempest jacket. Last time when I showed you the other 3 felts, I mentioned some marble type or stone beads. So some of these are plastic. I think you could sort of tell the sort of creamier ones are the plastic ones with a marble look to them. Then I've got these gorgeous glass beads, but I've also got some polished stone ones. They're wide, but they're quite flat because obviously stone is quite heavy. And this is me putting them on I like them on I wish I'd bought more of this sort of oatmeal colour felt. It's absolutely lovely. There's no felt left. I went and looked. I was like, because I think last time I did a fabric haul, I put some pink flowers on it and they looked absolutely adorable. And I was like, oh, I should buy some more oatmeal felts. And they don't have any of the colours left. I knew I should have bought more. Gosh darn it. Anyway, it is time for, that is the fabric haul over and done with. And now it is time for an update on the lovely but tumultuous jacket. So this is what the Tempest jacket looked like last time you saw it in the tweeds video, where to buy tweeds to make your Chanel style jacket. And I done one side of the front, and yeah, I just used sort of medium to largish beads. Generally speaking, I've got like extra large beads that I've used on the back, but just for beading jackets, these are usually the largest style ones that you put on. So I went with the sort of standard ones, but the really bling bling standard ones. And then since then, I finished the back, actually. I'll show you what the back looked like last time you saw it, which was, I think, also that same video. And so, yeah, some of the extra large or bigger beads, I sort of pegged out a little triangle on the, well, largish triangle on the back, and used all the good stuff in there. So there's the hand-blown glass beads, some glass lamp work ones, and some crystal cut glass beads, and just a beautiful, beautiful mix of all the really bling beads that are probably too delicate to use on their own, but because they're in a cluster, they sort of protect each other, and because it's between the shoulder blades and that part of the jacket rarely moves, and I sort of sit up straight when I'm wearing one of my jackets, so I won't be leaning back against something and crushing all these beads. But also I've got the little sprigs of seed beads. There's like 6 or 8 or 4 seed beads strung on one bit of thread in between. It's supposed to represent, the jacket is called the Tempest, so it's supposed to look like seaweed swirling around in rough waves, or a shipwreck in a stormy ocean. And yeah, the measurement is right, so I know that the triangle looks kind of off because the colors of the tweed are sort of make it look weird, or the angle or something, but I've measured it several times now. I think once all the beading is done, the balance will be restored, and your eye will be able to see that it's right. But for now, it's just an annoyance that I've measured it, so it's correct. So this is me showing you. It takes so much effort to tuck in the front lining pieces. So usually I don't, unless I'm filming, and I didn't think I would film the front. But yeah, I have done a little bit more on the left side of the jacket, which is on the right side of the screen. So here we go. I bothered to put down my camera and fix it. So it's coming along nicely, but as you can see, there's quite a ways to go. So I've got the whole of the other half of this front to go. And then I've also got the sleeves, and I've got about half the back to go as well. And this is me just showing you some of the really, really beautiful beads, because I went and got more scrounged around in my bridal bead collection and got some more of those. And this is me showing you my terrible workbench, still covered in that bit of black felt. And I've got quite a lot of those beads left, so we'll use them for something else, those TLC beads. They're just beautiful to work with. And oh, I love that one there. It looks like a bit of boiled candy. And I'm hoping to use, but I think it's too big to use on the front. I'll have to save it for something else. I'm pretty sure I have to clean up that before I can work on the jacket anymore. And also I've only got 3 cream, 1 teal thread, and 3 brown threads left. So I'll have to thread some more needles. And I like to have 20 or 30 of them there. And that way you don't have to stop and rethread every time you finish a thread. You can just tie off that one, tie on the next one, and continue. Because you have to hold the jacket in a very specific way. So I just find it easy to keep the rhythm of beading if I don't have to stop and start quite so much. Anyway, I'm off back to it. So then I just kept working on it into the night, and this is the next morning. documenting that I've almost finished the whole of the front. I think there's one little bit of the decorator fabric that hasn't been done at this point, but oh my gosh, there are some really beautiful beads in this part. I mean, there's really beautiful beads on the whole thing. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of disappointed with the triangle in that when it was, I think I overdid the seaweed, the like little spikes of seed beads, but I don't know, like if I'd made it gappier, then the really expensive big beads would have less support, but they would also have more light going through them. And that's what sort of makes them really glow. When you cover them more densely, like it's more secure this way. And I want my jackets, whenever I'm making my jackets, I always want them to last at least 2 or 3 decades. So this is the way that I kind of had to do it. But yeah, it's also kind of a shame. But I don't know. I love it, but I'm just getting a bit picky. Anyway, so I have, as you can see, there's loads left to do. So I'm just going to slowly fill in. I think I'm going to do all of the front and all of the back first, and then work on the sleeves. I think when I'm working on the sleeves, I might actually put it on the mannequin. This is me doing a loving close-up of this triangle on the back. It's so awesome. Like, I got to use so many amazing beads in here. And they're just, I think brown and teal look absolutely gorgeous together, and they really do remind me of like ocean waves with bits of debris and seaweed in there. It's just, they just look so good together. It's amazing. Anyway, so I think this is a lot of footage, but you know, it took me a lot of time to do, so it really is very beautiful. And I'm so tempted to go back and put triangles on so many of my jackets. Anyway, here it is. She's on the mannequin again. And yeah, it's just incredible. The amount of work that has gone into this jacket, but the whole of the front, I think, is, oh no, there's still a little bit to go. But yeah, and of course the entire sleeves, as I started to say, I think I'll leave it on the mannequin when I'm doing this work on the sleeves, because it isn't as heavy as it was with the first style of beading, but it's, you know, it's got weight to it. So I think I might leave it on the mannequin. And when it's on the mannequin, you can tell exactly where it's going to brush. Like you can tell where the undersleeve, like the inside of the sleeve, needs to have flatter beads. And it's really easy to tell which part of the sleeve needs flat beads and which needs 3-dimensional beads once you've got on the mannequin. So I might just do a bit of beading that way. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. And I managed to get quite a few awesome beads in there as well. And here it is from the side. There's not that much beading on the sleeves. There's a little bit at near the shoulder, and the cuff is done. And here's the back. I feel like you can, even though both sides of the triangle around the edges aren't done at this point, I feel like you can still tell that it is centered now. And yeah, I was a bit nervous about doing the white row above the triangle. I wasn't sure it was going to look organic, but I think I did a pretty good job of that. So yeah, I just love this jacket. It's probably too much footage for most people, but the amount of time I've spent beading this. So there she is from the front again. And I just had to push the other mannequin off to the side there. Sorry about that. But yeah, oh, and this is me pointing out the Finding Nemo bead in there, one bead. But yeah, I think that's the good thing about this jacket and the dragonfly jacket. I get to use up all these incredibly unique beads, but because all of them are so astoundingly unique, then it sort of molds together and it just becomes this one thing. I think it's awesome. Anyway, that is it for this video. thank you very much for watching. I hope you've been inspired to get out some fabrics from your fabric stash. Oh my gosh, I still have to do the fabric KonMari. Actually, that's going to be quite fun because I'm going to, put them in groups of 10 yards or 10 meters. And I'm going to make so there'll be enough for a dress and a matching jacket. It's going to be so cute. Anyway, thanks again for watching and happy sewing.